Sometimes gamers and critics don't agree when it comes to reviewing games. How many times have you played a game you really like even though it got destroyed on Metacritic? Here are 10 games in alphabetical order in which gamers and critics simply can't agree. Call of Duty Ghosts, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 all score about 70 or higher on a scale of 100. These shooters were all considered very decent by critics of newspapers, websites, and magazines. But gamers don't agree. These 3 games got an average user score of 57 or lower. Consumers have slammed the series for being unoriginal, lacking graphic quality, and falling short in the campaign department.
See this? I got this when I arrested the Catwoman wannabe.
Where most games on this list show that consumers are very unforgiving critics, Deadly Premonition shows the opposite. IGN called it awful in every way, while Destructoid praised the game for being highly original and full of surprises. On average, critics gave a 68, while consumers showed much more appreciation for Deadly Premonition, calling it a masterpiece and a cult classic. Despite its bad graphics and bugs, the game earned an 83 from consumers worldwide. Critics praised DMC for reviving the series with top-notch combat, giving the action game an 85 average. Consumers were less pleased, complaining that the new Dante is not cool enough, and where critics praised the easy approach on the difficulty, while consumers slammed it for being dumbed down. Above all, gamers considered the story of DMC abysmal, resulting in a 51 average score.
Hey Bob, put a spin on this.
You cannot deceive.
Critics were very forgiving with the radical changes to the gameplay in Dragon Age 2. On average, they rewarded the game with an 82. Gamers showed much more anger, calling BioWare out on the smaller map and reused assets. And they were also disappointed in the revamped combat system, resulting in a 44 average score. Far more recent, Fallout 4 caused a rift between reviewers and gamers. Critics praised the game for its depth, complexity, and vibrant world, while also pointing out its bugs and glitches. This didn't stop them giving it an 84 average, something gamers clearly didn't do. They think the role-playing game is more like a shooter with very repetitive missions, giving the game a 54 average.
I don't want them to know. I don't want anyone.
Gone Home was praised all over for its unconventional gameplay and its ability to make the player actually feel emotions. The touching story of this adventure game earned an 86 on average. But again, gamers did not agree. They gave it a 54 because they think this is not a game and definitely not worth its money due to its short length.
Don't be worried, okay? We'll see each other again. Someday.
Little Big Planet was hailed as Sony's answer to Super Mario, with the ability to create user-generated content. It was the next big thing, and critics went crazy over the game, resulting in a phenomenal score of 95. The community was divided, however. Some praised the game just like the critics, others called it the stupidest thing ever. This resulted in a score of 67. Of course, we can't make this list without Mass Effect 3. The ending of the trilogy was well received on websites and in magazines with a 93. But gamers soon discovered that the endings of the game were basically all the same. 3 games full of choices, and in the end, they didn't really matter. The internet outrage that followed resulted in a 58 score on average. With over 10 million sold, Overwatch is a huge commercial success. Critics have been praising the game like crazy, resulting in a 91 average on PC and a 90 for the console version. Gamers are not that easily impressed. They consider the game nice, but very limited in its content. It's simply not worth the money. PC gamers gave it a 71, while console gamers were even more disappointed with a 62. The last game on this list is Street Fighter V. The newest game in the famous fighting series got a 78 score from critics. But gamers got really angry over the lack of content. There's no single player, no arcade mode, and the list goes on. With a 33 score, gamers sure showed their anger towards Capcom. Some even called it unfinished and an incomplete beta game. Did you agree more with the critics or the gamers' side of the scores in this video? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video before you leave.